I think the one thing was how entertaining it was, despite the subject matter, which is obviously very kind of topical and some might say dark. I think one things that Emerald always pitched to us was it's a movie that should be entertaining and people should want to go and see it, despite the subject matter, despite it being something that people should talk about. It was the one, she was like, people should come out of this having had a good time, even though they come out and, you know, question certain things about themselves and about kind of society. I describe it as a darkly comedic social thriller, but you know, other people describe it differently. That's the thing about Emerald's tone. It's so unique to her that it's you can't really liken it to anything else. The story follows Cassie, a woman who is kind of still hurting from the death of a friend years previously, who is kind of struggling with two parts of her life. One, to kind of carry on with life and move on past that, or to kind of exact and seek revenge on the people that were responsible for it. I think the thing that intrigued us about Carey, and with talking about this with Emerald, was the idea of, you know, there is a very iconic idea of Carey Mulligan and the character she plays. And I think we just like the idea of kind of subverting that and really giving the audience something different from what they'd expect from Carey herself, you know, completely changing her look from what people are used to. And I think Carey as well is much funnier than people give her credit for, especially in this role. She's getting a chance to do that. And you know, yeah, I think it's more a case of just presenting something that people would never expect from Carey Mulligan. I think there's a sense of innocence about Beau, or, you know, naivete about that kind of character. And I think, you know, coming from his background of, you know, being a comedian and not having done, you know, a million movies as an actor, it added something quite nice between him and Carey in terms of a, you know, a dominant structure whereby, you know, Carey was almost the more dominant feature of the two because of, you know, her experience doing this, and Beau had this kind of charming nervousness about him when they kind of get together. Shannon, we've had Britton come in to play the Dean, Brody, who was in yesterday, who was fantastic. You know, people still to come, Mintz-Plasse, and Sam Richardson. We've really been so lucky with the kind of supporting cast who have come in. But again, it's a testament to the script about, you know, being able to come in and have these comedic actors come in and do such a character-based thing, but whilst also there'd be humour behind it. So it's really kind of an interesting tone for them to tackle. It feels very current now, even though it's, you know, a lot of these things are still going on today, so it feels like it's the right time to have this conversation about what's going on in terms of, you know, consent and complacency and, you know, what is happening today, and I think this is a good conversation starter for that. I mean, outside of just the pure physical feat of doing this, I think, you know, her attention to detail is phenomenal. She is, you know, she has such an exact vision for how she wants this, and whether it's from, you know, the set dressing to the camera positions to the way the lines are delivered, she is kind of on point with everything, and she doesn't miss a beat. And she's really, you know, she's the one who drives the ship every day. She is the one who keeps everyone going for morale. Her you know, her attitude on set is phenomenal. She does, you know, it's always positive. It's always polite, it's always, you know, fun. So despite, you know, the tone of the movie and, you know, the subject matter, it's a very fun set, everyone's still having fun, all the while kind of delivering quality. There'll be so many different question marks about so many different points in the movie that I think, you know, people will be able to come about it and talk for weeks, and then, you know, so you might watch it again and see something different in another character, go, actually, well, no, now I've watched it again, I can see, you know, I feel differently about that. Or, you know, you might relate to one thing in a character and you know, and another thing in another person. So there's things that people can take from everything. I see Cassie as a flawed hero. It's you know, she's out for justice. She's possibly not doing it in the right ways, but she has a good heart about it. I think what we want people to leave and not question themselves, but just ask certain questions of themselves, like, have I been good in the past? What can I do better? And just have those kind of conversations. We don't want people to kind of come out feeling, you know, icky or kind of like they've seen something bad. It's more about just kind of looking at ourselves and thinking, what can we do more or better about, you know, and just be better people.